Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm very excited to be jumping on here and talking to you all. A member of the Magical Healing Group, Daniel Stone, actually inspired me to start making this set of videos I'm going to begin making. He has read A Course in Miracles many, many times, and he just started reading it again, and he was talking about it on our live webinar this morning. So he inspired me to get it. So I got A Course in Miracles. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start a playlist on my YouTube channel, on the Magical YouTube channel, but I'm also going to be reading A Course in Miracles, and after every chapter, I'm going to be taking notes and then do a quick video on some things I learned from every chapter in A Course in Miracles, all talking about the reality of miracles, and a lot of it has to do with establishing that powerful connection with God, and that's so important to me. I don't talk about it much. I don't talk about it as much as I should actually talk about it. But for all the times I was lost in life, searching for happiness in external things, external pleasures, and short-term gratification highs and all that, I didn't have any kind of relationship with God in my life at all. It wasn't until I went within, we didn't go external, went within, that I actually found peace and solace and really established that. I know nothing more powerful, more of a fulfilling feeling than a relationship with my Creator. I've never known that. Second being the relationship with my wife. So learning more about this and learning how to kind of express that and help other people possibly find their way to that extreme feeling of fulfillment. I don't know anything more exciting or powerful. So excited to talk with you all about it. So read chapter 1. We'll start out with that. So chapter 1 is called The Meaning of Miracles, and I read over it, and there's a bunch of great stuff. I urge everyone to get A Course in Miracles. You can buy it online. But I wanted to pull a couple really cool lessons, like I'll do every time I do one of these videos. There's 365 chapters, and I'll do a video for every one of them. Okay, so chapter 1, like I said, is about miracles, and there's a lot of great stuff in there. A couple of the big lessons that I pulled away from it, though, that I'm excited to share with you all. The first one, it states that when you are willing to hide nothing, then you will understand peace and joy. When you're willing to hide nothing. But what does that mean, right? And I can give you a couple examples from in my life. Whenever I was chasing everything externally and learning all my lessons, learning my lessons, I was up in New York City partying like crazy, and I was a big binge drinker. Binge drinking was a big thing for me. I'd party like crazy up there. And I went and tried everything that the world said you need to do to help your drinking, and nothing worked. It wasn't until I experimented with psychedelics and then started going within and established a meditation practice, writing affirmations, a good routine, met my girlfriend who's now my wife, and she taught me a lot, and then established the relationship with my Creator, all within, nothing without, that I was able to overcome that. But even then, I was kind of embarrassed to talk about it, because who likes talking about them going through binge drinking and making all these horrible decisions, right? But when I started speaking about it, it was very freeing because of all the lessons I learned in it. And then other people came out and said they've had issues with it too. And surprise, surprise, the ways of the world aren't really the things that tend to really work for a lot of people, right? Same thing with my wife, Megan. She had so much trauma she was like embarrassed and ashamed of. But once she took the steps towards plant medicine to heal it, and she openly started talking about it, after that, it was so freeing for her. She always cared so much of her life what her family thought or what her friends thought and everything. And now what's more important to her is her truth. And when she speaks her truth, it's freeing. You feel joy, you feel exhilaration, because other people are going through similar things. But because of this conditioned fear of judgment, people are afraid to come out and talk about it. But it's so freeing when you're just being authentic. You're telling your story about what you've been through, your lessons, and you're sharing, you're being authentic. So I loved that statement in there, and that really resonated with me. This one, there's a lot of talk about gratitude in the first chapter too. This says, perceive and acknowledge that you have everything. Because you were given everything when you were created. And it's true. We're conditioned to focus on everything external. We'll be happy when we get the next big house or the next perfect relationship or the perfect job, and all that I mean, yeah, it's great to have good things like that, and you can attract them, but you first must find gratitude for what you have right now. You're breathing, you have a roof over your head, you have people that care about you. There are good outlets of positivity that you can find. That's one reason we created Magical, for that outlet, to try and be that vessel of love. So find gratitude for where you're at right now. And they also say that true peace will not be found in anything external. I'm going to say that again. True peace will not be found in anything external. Okay, it's important to know that. I spoke on that briefly before. And another way to find true peace is complete forgiveness, which is a tough one too. It was a hard one for me too, in my life. One of the hardest things I've had to forgive. And even when I say I've forgiven it, I still find little things that come up. So I'd say I'm about 80% fully forgiven this, and it's something I'm working on. I had a big falling out with my family when I went through this awakening process and started like moving away from the horrible decisions and the alcohol and all that, and then did start experimenting with psychedelics, which I openly admit that, and that was really beneficial for me. But because of that, my entire family I grew up with completely turned their backs on me and started tarnishing my reputation because of it, right? So much so that none of them came to my wedding. My aunt did, and I had some family that did there, which was amazing. But my dad and everyone, they all didn't come to my wedding at all. And they got a lot of my other family not to come to my wedding. And that was really hurtful at that time, because I knew I was doing better than I've ever done in my life. And I felt good, and I had all this good stuff happening. So it took me years to finally, and a lot of divine signs. I had multiple prayer and meditation sessions where I got messages that I have to forgive that situation. And one of the hardest things to do is forgive a situation when they don't want to be forgiven, right? They think they're right, but it's not about them. To fully forgive will help you find peace. So I had to fully forgive my dad and that side of my family for not coming to my wedding, even though they don't want to be forgiven, which is so difficult, right? And it was impossible for me in the beginning, but over time it's become very possible. So that's kind of a cool example, like where I feel that that's so true, being able to actually find peace within yourself with complete forgiveness, which is what they talk about in the first chapter. Man, there's so many little lessons here. You were created to create good, beautiful, and holy. And one of the things that ends on is express the love of God to each other, which is unconditional, non-judgmental love. We are all powerful vessels. We are co-creators. We're powerful vessels, and we're here to love and show love and be that example, and be there for each other. We're all brothers and sisters, every one of us, despite what external things, despite what like media that tries to divide us, despite all of that. We're all together, we're all in this together, and at our core, we're all connected with that beautiful Holy Spirit. So have love for every one of you. That was my kind of, obviously there's so much in that first chapter, but I just wanted to go over a few cool lessons that I got from that chapter. Again, it was principle, or the meaning of miracles for A Course in Miracles, and I'll be doing these videos through all 365 chapters. So if you resonate with it and you want to hear more, just feel free to click on my YouTube channel and subscribe to it and hit the bell, and you'll be notified when I come out with my next one. Thanks, everyone. Have love for every one of you, and we got this. Happy healing to everyone out there.